selamat datang di interview You Man, You Brand. Today I'm very fortunate. Ardian, a very good friend of mine. Professionally, we have collaborated on a lot of work. And saya senang bisa main di rumah dia. And we just want to chat through a few topics. Hope you get some value from this. So, hey Ardian, thanks man.
Yeah.
So Ardian, maybe you can explain a little bit about your professional background and mix in, tell us a little bit about Ardian also.
Okay, my name is Ardian, and I'm coming from woodworking vocational school, and that's what my passion until now. Saya senang sekali bisa menjadi salah satu bagian dalam woodworking, karena pertama kakak saya juga sudah menggeluti itu, dan saya melihat bahwa ada beberapa potensi yang bisa banyak digali dari Indonesia, khususnya karena sebagai produser kami menjadi salah satu tenaga ahli dari woodworking management.
Right. Then I guess sudah berapa tahun sama woodworking?
Woodworking, I'm at school like 4 years, and working till now it's about around 10 or 11 years.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, well, in Ardian, we don't have to talk about ages, but clearly you're a young, healthy guy, so that's impressive. Have that much experience so far. So, okay, so kami experience ini, hampir semua masuk Indonesia, dan Indonesia is really a great country for furniture and woodworking and so forth. So mungkin bisa menjelaskan ada masalah, ada aspects of Indonesia that are very good. Would you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yeah, the resources, of course the resources, because tropical country that has so many wood, but again we always thinking about how to rebuild something like that. That's the challenge something. So that's also one point that I'm trying to think why I'm going to the woodworking because of the resources, and also additional why I'm right now is engineer. So why I'm choosing as an engineer because I know if I want to be in expert in the production, I'll have so many people that bekerja lebih dulu.
Right.
Jadi that is why I'm choosing to be a drafter at the first, because that's a technology that the old people, orang tua yang dulu, not knowing about the technology.
Very good.
That's the first start that I'm trying.
I see. Okay. So, and then what about? Okay, so you touched on mungkin masih sulit untuk Indonesia sangat innovative, but I think it definitely has started. But also, there was some older generation that you were able to enhance previous skill set in, say, furniture and engineering. But is there any type of topic that you now see needs to change? Like after 10 tahun lebih, gak ada cukup progress untuk masalah itu, right? What is something that you feel like now, with as much experience as you have, that it's time for this country and the professionalism to kind of step it up?
So, in my opinion, the most important thing is the documentation. That's the one that Indonesia is not really that konsentrasi di bagian itu. Jadi kita hanya bekerja, produksi, memenuhi target, tetapi ketika ada komplain atau ada masalah, kita tidak tahu masalahnya tuh kita di mana.
Right.
Jadi kalau misalkan kita bisa memperbaiki dokumentasi sampai benar-benar kita miss di bagian seperti ini, we can belajar lebih banyak dan
Right. Yeah, well, and I know we've had some crossover on our experiences where, an international brand is manufacturing. We have very high standards, which is pretty typical globally now.
Yeah.
And Indonesia has done pretty well to recognize, but then the application of that, and like you said, the consistent learning, seeing clear progress in developing of skills is pretty slow. Is pretty slow.
Yep.
And I know from all sides, can be a little frustrating, but I think that's a good takeaway. Actually, for this conversation, I think it's a good takeaway for Indonesia and the young talent and the processes that the consistency and the continuation of learning is really valuable, and that's something that each one of us are capable of.
Yeah.
It doesn't require technology or any special amount of money. It just takes a mental mindset and consistency. And clearly from my position sometimes, or a foreign buyer or company, also has to be some patience and understanding that leadership is needed.
Yes.
It doesn't come naturally.
Right.
So, all right, Ardian, as always, I very much appreciate the conversation. I hope you out there have enjoyed this, being able to square away some good friendships and experience that we've had together. Hope that you have a takeaway. Please, kalau bingung atau ada pertanyaan lagi, please leave some comments down below. Of course, we'd love for you to subscribe. Get another chance in the future to discuss with Ardian and some other friendships and acquaintances. And we just appreciate that you viewed today. As always, we want you to awaken your passion of life in order to spark the hope in others. With that said, you man, you brand, and
Let's go.